We live in paradise. That's what I say to my fellow Miamians anytime the subject of our fair city is brought up, and I believe this with all my heart. I care a lot for Miami, for Florida. Even as a child, I would rejoice when just after entering our beautifully vibrant state, we'd stop at a place where my dad would buy me an orange juice in a plastic orange with a green, really hard straw coming out of the top, like if it was a stem. It tasted like sunshine to me, and I immediately felt like I was home, the place I felt the best. As I've grown, my love and commitment for Miami has grown, and although I don't like getting involved in the politics of our beloved city, I do feel the need to speak up if I see something valuable becoming endangered, especially something that I want my children and future generations to be able to enjoy. I wish I could deliver this message in person, but taking full advantage of the advances of technology, I will still manage to be present. Most of you may know me through my career in entertainment or as a local Miami businesswoman. I'm Gloria Estefan, by the way, if you haven't figured it out by now. But I am also a deeply committed preservationist. My husband Emilio and I feel we have had the privilege to grow up in what we know to be one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Miami, and our beautiful state of Florida. We have restored and preserved the wonderful architecture of the Art Deco era in our Cardozo Hotel on Ocean Drive, the Shore Park Hotel, home of our restaurant Lario's on the Beach for 21 years, and on historic Lincoln Road, a beautiful Spanish Mediterranean revival building from 1929. Miami is our home, and we feel blessed and privileged to be a part of its growth and to be able to contribute to its advancement, not only through business, but philanthropically and culturally as well. Fortunately for all who live here, Florida's beauty truly enriches our lives and draws countless visitors to our beautiful shores to add enjoyment to their valuable vacation time. Florida also has had generous friends, people who've expressed their love for this unique state by gifting special treasures to its residents. That is why I want to take a moment to talk to you about the Miami Marine Stadium. The Matheson family gave to the state for public use lands around Key Biscayne and Virginia Key. In 1963, a parcel was deeded down through the county to the city for the stipulated use as a marine stadium. To quote the actual deed, "This deed of conveyance is made upon the express condition that the land hereby conveyed shall be perpetually used and maintained for the operation of a marine stadium and allied purposes only. And in the event the use of said land for such purposes shall be abandoned, then and in such event the title of said land shall revert to the grantor herein." Those grantors, the Mathesons, had a very specific purpose in mind for their generous gift, which is the reason that the Miami Marine Stadium was built in the first place. And when in 2008 a plan was unveiled to demolish the stadium, it unleashed a wave of distress and a call to action among people who not only love our city, but understand the importance of saving this gem for generations to come. In response, the non-for-profit, grassroots-based organization Friends of Miami Marine Stadium was founded to save and restore the Miami Marine Stadium, which was built in 1963 and shuttered in 1992. On July 22, 2010, the Friends of Miami Marine Stadium, after following all the legal and governmental guidelines, and in conjunction with over 30 community organizations such as the Virginia Key Beach Trust, the Tropical Audubon Society, Miami Neighborhoods United, and the Sierra Club, to name only a few, presented to the Miami City Commission the first and only feasible plan offered in 20 years for the restoration and operation of this property. This comprehensive plan was approved by the Miami City Commission that same day. The city then created the Miami Marine Stadium Steering Committee, a blue ribbon task force charged with the task of looking at all the pertinent issues and asked to establish what were to be the boundaries of the property for the stadium, its basin, and the surrounding land. This plan, which has been unanimously approved by the steering committee created by the city, will be presented to the Miami City Commission today. The Friends of Miami Marine Stadium has been the only entity to devise a plan to save this jewel in our midst, and to do so via pro bono work and a fundraising effort that will come from the private sector and not divert any valuable city funds. In addition, an endowment fund of at least $7 million would be established for repairs and maintenance of the facility once it is operating, and any funds made from commercial ventures, such as the Maritime Center, would first have to be used to contribute to the maintenance and running of the Marine Stadium. The Miami City Commission can feel confident that their approval would be in compliance with the City of Miami's original charter, since Section 29D refers specifically to the situation before you: city-owned waterfront property, leases with nonprofit organizations, which this would be, authorization to waive competitive bidding and referendum requirements and the terms of the lease. And it states, the City Commission is authorized to waive all competitive bidding and referendum requirements when entering into a lease or extending an existing lease with a nonprofit, non-commercial, water-dependent organization which provides to seek or provide marine recreational service and or activities to the community at any city-owned waterfront property, provided all of the following conditions are met. And these are, the terms of the lease allow reasonable public access to the water and reasonable public use of the property and complies with all waterfront setback and view corridor requirements set forth in the Charter and Code. Of course, Miami Marine Stadium would open that fence that is now blocking the public. The use is authorized under then existing comprehensive plan of the city. Cities approve the plan. And the terms of the lease require that the property be used for public purposes only. And this, of course, goes right along with what Friends is doing. The Friends of Miami Marine Stadium's plan is not only in compliance with the city's charter, but will renovate the majestic, architecturally iconic structure and create a waterfront marine stadium park as a public space for concerts, triathlons, boat races, festivals, spectacles, and community events, all with private funding. This plan will be topped off by adding a state-of-the-art maritime center, which has already received a pledge of support from the Antique Boat Museum of Clayton, New York, to raise $7 million for a satellite maritime museum to be housed there. The stadium has already been recognized as an architectural masterpiece by the National Historic Trust for Historic Preservation, and in 2009 was named to the National Trust's 11 Most Dangerous list. The National Historic Trust has also offered to hold all funds collected for the Marine Stadium in escrow. In 2009, the World's Monument Fund, the foremost organization worldwide devoted to the preservation of architectural and cultural sites, named the Miami Marine Stadium to its 2010 watch list, along with places such as Machu Picchu, the City of Old Jerusalem, and Gaudi's La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. On April 6, 2010, Miami-Dade County Commissioners passed a resolution to allocate $3 million to the stadium to start its historical preservation and return it as a venue for water sports and major concerts. And I already received a call from our friend and fellow Florida lover, the inimitable Jimmy Buffett, pledging his support as well. Despite more than 20 years of vandalism and neglect, the 6,500-seat stadium, built of poured-in-place concrete, is structurally sound and is considered an engineering marvel, now studied internationally. Today, we hope that you, the Miami City Commission, will give approval to the proposed site plan so that, armed with your approval and I hope your excitement, our fundraising efforts can begin in earnest and we can soon enjoy a Miami Marine Stadium that our city can be proud of and that will offer enjoyment to the residents of our beautiful city, drawing even more visitors to our paradise. Thank you for listening.